My first thing was about Germany, and it's called When All Parties Lead to Angela. Angela Merkel is Germany's chancellor. And in less than a year, Germany's federal election is up, and Chancellor Angela Merkel is doing well at home. Her center-right Christian Democratic Union, also known as the CDU, and its Bavarian sister party, the Christian Social Union, CSU, are leading in the polls. The other parties are in the news for being in shambles or are expected to join a coalition in which Merkel would still remain chancellor. Even though she's in the lead, her biggest task is to remain unattached to the disappointing performance of the CSU and the CDU with the FDP, which is the Free Democratic Party. The CSU and the FDP have spent much time on projects that are senseless to the CSU, and then on the other hand are petty to the FDP. An example of this is this month the CSU has tried to cater to the Bavaria's family values voters by creating a subsidy for parents who care for toddlers at home rather than sending them to daycares. Payments will begin next August. The FDP sees this as an expensive step backwards for a modern society that could leave children of poor families deprived of education, but they accepted it in return for getting rid of the $12 fee that publicly insured patients have to pay once a quarter when they see their doctor. The FDP has begun to collapse. It was once a grand liberal party, but now the polls show that it might get less than 5% of votes in the election. If an election in Lower Saxony in January produces a poor showing of the FDP's leader, Philipp Rosler, he will have to go. Because of the coalition being so preoccupied, you would think that the main opposing party, the Social Democratic Party, would attack more effectively. That was the idea when the party selected Peer Steinbrück as the party's candidate. They picked him because he is famously sharp-tongued former finance minister, but instead he had been embroiled in a sustained debate about the speaking fees he had been earning on the side. He's a millionaire and had never been favored by the party's blue-collar and trade union base. The SPD chairman, Sigmar Gabriel, is having to turn aside questions about an election outcome in which the SDP would play second fiddle to Ms. Merkel in another grand coalition. Both Mr. Gabriel and Steinbrück say that they only overlap ideologically with the Greens, the other left-center party. It seems likely that Ms. Merkel will remain chancellor. The only question is who will be her coalition partner.